Another video in the Java programming series. In this video, we're going to be going over if statements and how to use them in Java and the Java syntax. It's going to be beneficial for you guys to go back through and watch my video on if statements in the programming fundamentals course, because I'm not going to go into big detail about the core fundamentals of if statements. I'm just going to show you the Java syntax and talk about it as I go through. In that fundamental programming video, I talk about conditions, which you need to understand conditions, and logical operators. I talk about that in the video before. So it's important that you guys watch those to really understand it. And then I'm going to go over the Java syntax in this. So first, we're going to build off of what we did in the previous videos. We're going to go get user input. This is just a comment saying what I'm doing. I'm going to do scanner input scanner. So I'm just going to get some user input to run through my if statements. I have to do that. And now I'm going to go string. Well, you know what? I'm just going to go int age equals input dot next int. And then above this, I'm going to go system dot out dot print dot print enter age. I'm going to go system dot out dot print line. Okay, so I'm just going to run this real quick. Okay, I don't know what's going on with that. Let me try it again. Oh, I had a misspell error there. So it says enter age, and just move this up here for a sec. I'm going to end that. Okay, yeah, I had a little error here. I'm going to move that down there. Yeah, I just misspelled print. Java's really, coding's really like case sensitive and spelled sensitive. So if you misspell something, it's not going to work. So just enter age. All right. So now let's get into some if statements here. So for now, I'm just going to declare this variable as int age equals 0. So how do we do ifs in Java? First, you're going to have to use the keyword if, then two parentheses and curly brackets. In here is going to be a condition. So we have to give it a condition, meaning a condition is going to give you a true or false variable. And if it's true, you're going to do this if statement. If it's false, you're going to skip over it and do whatever code is left down here. So let's just say if age equals 21, let's just print to the screen system.out.println the person can drink in the USA. Let's put a semicolon and then let's just run this. So now we're going to say enter age 21 and the person can drink in the USA. Now let's run it again and let's say we enter 25. Well, nothing's going to happen. So let's add another if statement. We can say if age is less than 16, say, let's go system.out.println the person cannot drive or join the military, or drink. So now let's run this again. And if we do 10, the person cannot drive, join the military, or drink. And I spelled that wrong. Okay, so let's just say if the age is greater than or equal to 16, because this is saying if they're 16, and this is a logical operator, and age is less than 18, system.out.println the person can drive, they can't join the military, and can't drink. And we need to end it in a semicolon. So let's run this again. So let's enter 17. The person can drive, they can't join the military, and they can't drink. Okay. Now let's say if age is greater than or equal to 18 and age is less than 21, we'll just go system.out.println the person can drive and join the military, but not drink. Let's put a semicolon. So now if we run this again, enter 20, it's going to say the person can drive and join the military, but not drink. And guys, I go over what these logical operators are in my logical operating video in my fundamental programming course, but essentially it's saying if this is true and this is true to do this if statement. If this isn't true or if this isn't true, don't do it. They both have to be true on both sides. Now I want to talk about one more thing. What does else mean? So else is if none of these if statements work. So else system.out.println let's put the person can drive, join the military, and drink. And we got to put a semicolon there. And now let's run this again. And if we enter 22, it's going to say the person can drive, join the military, and drink. So since it was 22, 22 is not less than 16, so it's not going to do this one. 22 is not less than or equal to 16, and it's not, 22 isn't greater than or equal to 16, and it's not less than 18, so it's not going to do this one. 22 isn't greater than or equal to 18, and it's not less than 21, so it's not going to do this one. 22 is not equal to 21, so it's not going to do this one. And so it's going to do the else statement, the last resort. If we don't have an else here, if we comment this out and we just do system.out.println code. Sorry guys, it's kind of laggy because I have it zoomed in so you guys can read it. And I run it and I put 22. It just says code. So since I put 22, none of these if statement work. So it just skips over the if statement and goes down to my next line of code. So now since I have an else, any last resort cases it will do, and then it will just go down to my code and do the rest of my code. The other thing I want to go over are else ifs. What are else ifs? So else ifs are, so right now, let's say we enter 16, or I'm sorry, right now let's say we enter 15. 15 is less than 16, so this is going to be true, and it's going to print the person cannot drive, join the military, or drink. And then it's going to come down and check this if statement. Well, this if statement is going to be false, so it's going to come down to this one and check this one. It's going to be false, and it's going to come down and check this one, and it's going to be false, and then it's going to skip over this else, since this first one was true. So when you just have if statements, it's going to check every if statement in a row. Now, if we do else like this, which this is what I would do, because if this first one is true, let's say it's 15, and 15 is less than or equal to 16, it's going to print the person cannot drive, join the military, or drink to the screen, and then it's not going to check any of these ones that have else. It's going to skip over them and just come down here. So else statements are good to optimize your program. And then the other thing is when you use else statements, you can put the most likely choice first. So then if it's the most likely choice, if it's true, it's going to skip over the unlikely choices so your program can be a little more optimized. So lastly, guys, I did type this up. I'm going to put it in the description. But if you guys want to challenge yourself, guys, do this little exercise. Create a program, have the user enter a number from 1 to 7 representing a day of the week, meaning 1 would be Monday, 7 would be Sunday. When the user enters the number, print to the screen what day of the week it is. For example, if the user enters 5, then print Friday to the screen. If the user enters a value that is not 1 to 7, print to the screen that it's invalid response. Lastly, do error checking. For example, if the user enters a letter and the computer tries to convert it to an int, the program will crash. So, guys, all you're going to do is you're going to make a series of if statements. You're going to say, if it's 1, print Monday, 2, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so and so until you get to Sunday. You're going to want to use else if statements and do error checking. So you can use the isDigit method to see if it's a number. For example, take the user input in as a string and then do your first if statement, say if the string variable dot isDigit is true, is false, reprint to the screen and ask them to do the input again. If it's true, convert it to an int and do your other else if statements. So guys, that's everything I got. Try this out. I'm going to post a video on how to do this later in the week. I hope you guys learned something, and hit the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. Thanks, guys.